Some pre-WrestleMania Cody Rhodes plans may have been revealed over the weekend. Plus, we have an update on Matt Riddle's post-WWE future. And could a former NXT star be returning? It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Over the weekend, WWE held a very successful live event in Palm Springs, California. It was a sellout. I think one of very few live event sellouts for them. It's done really well for them. They've had a good run of that underdog company, the WWE.
I've just read what's to come in this story, and I am in 6s and 7s at the moment.
Oh, mate, I'm in 8, 9s, and 10s.
My goodness. Plans for Cody Rhodes are currently rudderless, it would appear.
Or have a massive rudder now currently in his possession. So at this live event in Palm Springs, they had a live episode of the VIP Lounge featuring Cody and Dominic Mysterio. They got into a tussle during it, and it was during the match between Cody and Dom that Omos interfered, and Omos drags Cody out of the ring, military presses him over the ropes, and leads to a near fall in the match with Dom. Now, in the past, WWE have used these live events as a bit of a testing ground for possible new rivalries, new feuds, and new matches. So, the belief is that before he goes on to finish the story with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes has to write a secondary chapter starring him and Omos.
Yes, he will. And that is going to be fantastic viewing for all concerned. Considering Omos is still yet to win. I think he beat Bobby Lashley once, didn't he? But then outside of that, he's lost every single one of his big matches.
Is he the least successful giant of all time?
He must be. He's reached Big Show, latter day Big Show before having his early day Big Show run, if that makes any sort of sense.
He just cut straight to the end of the story. He wants to finish the story dead quick. In terms of is he the least successful giant? Maybe Giant Gonzalez might be in that mix too.
Oh, he's a lot better than Giant Gonzalez was.
Oh no, but in terms of win-losses and
potentially, yeah.
But
Ron Reese.
Oh, the day, as he was better known. Yeah, that's true. Tell us who the least successful giant is in the comments down there. Thoughts on Cody going through an Omos-shaped roadblock en route to Mania?
The way they've gone with Dominic Mysterio being Cody Rhodes' opponent at the start of the summer, sort of circling back to it now on the weekly episodes of Raw, the way we're now going, it would seem to Omos. It's clear that the WWE have no idea how to get Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania next year. They've given Roman Reigns a long period of time off and let Jimmy and Jay and Solo and Paul carry that story forward in his absence. But Cody, it looks like they've got no idea how to get him to WrestleMania next year. So I've got no feelings at all, Tom. I'm perfectly numb. How are you?
I've become comfortably numb. Last and also over the weekend at this show at Palm Springs, we had a little indicator of LA Knight's current backstage success based on the fact that he wasn't there. Ross, explain this.
Right, so basically, when they release the card, it's always card subject to change, but sometimes special circumstances dictate that WWE tell the audience so-and-so who was advertised for an event is not going to be at this event. Your Seth Rollins, your Roman Reigns, people of that ilk. They also did this for The Rock, LA Knight, as some people like to call him, because as we saw out of SmackDown on Friday, he had COVID, he was sent home from SmackDown. He couldn't appear on the show despite the fact there was allegedly big plans for him. He then couldn't appear on this live event, and they put it out there. Refunds there if you want them. LA Knight's not going to be here.
So that says a lot, does it, about where they see LA Knight currently in the company?
The mountaintop, Tom. The top of Space Mountain.
I wonder who took them up on their offer of a refund. You'd have gone.
Oh, I'd have been picketing outside the arena, so I would. Give me money, I want The Rock. Give me money, I want The Rock. That's exactly what I would have done.
That's exactly what you probably would have done. Now, moving on to Matt Riddle, who is no longer with WWE. There were releases over the weekend, and then on the Saturday night, Matt Riddle was announced that he was gone from WWE as well. In terms of what his future entails, Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio has said there is more than one MMA promotion that are currently looking to bring Matt Riddle back into the world of mixed martial arts.
But probably not the MMA promotion.
Not the MMA promotion, as it's owned by the company that just sacked him.
And also, Dana White doesn't like Matt Riddle because he couldn't, in his words back in the day, pass a drugs test.
Not beat around the bush, pass a drugs test. So Matt Riddle, not so much burning a bridge, more eviscerating a bridge with UFC. But I could see him doing some MMA stuff again. I could see him getting back into the mix there, you know.
Imagine CM Punk calling the matches of Riddle and Cage Warriors, whatever the hell that promotion's called. Yeah, I'm trying to name other things now. You're the one, you Bellator. I'm reeling them off now. MMA expert here at Cultaholic.
You are not only our All Japan expert, but you are our MMA expert as well. There's not a day goes by where you don't come in and go, hey, Bellator, eh?
Yeah, sometimes I see Owen upstairs, just lock him in a Kimura just for the crack, you know?
You certainly do. But we all do that. It's fine. Yeah, and to you, Joel, who's editing this video, who's getting a Kimura lock as we speak. There was a number of releases over the weekend, many considered a bit confusing by people behind the scenes.
Yeah, NXT releases to be precise. Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net was told by a source close to the WWE about the release situation that Mustafa Ali in particular was a head scratcher in terms of release that happened last week.
As was Ike Manjiro. Now, they say that Ali, when it comes to Ali, he did everything he was told to do, but they say, their source says, my guess is his requests to be released finally caught up with him. Ike Manjiro was a guy who was really over with the NXT crowd. They clapped to his entrance and they cheer the funny stuff that he'd do. The fans knew he was a good athlete, but we were guaranteed a good time when he showed up. So it was a surprise when Ike Manjiro was let go. It felt like they tried a few things with him on TV and it didn't, in terms of through the television, he didn't really scan in the way that many would hope he would.
Yeah, it feels like a gimmick that he had with Jacket Time and then the sort of weird eating gimmick that he had for a little period of time and just the general stuff he would do in the ring would translate well to a live audience. But when you sat at home, it just came across to me that it was the horrible thing you used to see about 20 years ago of like foreigner coming over to America, Americans, and you know, us in the West laughing at the foreigner who came over, if that makes any sense. It does in my head, and I hope I've said it properly for you to understand.
It was, yeah, I see what you're saying. It was there could have been more to it.
He says things differently to us. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a bit old hat, that, innit? It's a bit old hat. Staying with NXT, Nikita Lyons gave us an update on Instagram. She shared a video shaking her booty. And when you were able to draw your eyes away, you could read the caption. That stated that she was almost clear to return to wrestling. So back in February, she suffered an ACL tear, and she revealed on Instagram that her doctors have given her a good prognosis, and she is set to start training for an in-ring return very, very soon.
And right now, Tom will demonstrate by shaking his booty how crucial your ACL is in shaking said booty. So Tom, if you wouldn't mind standing up,
not enough
please
bandwidth.
Stand up and twerk.
There's not enough
twerk, bitch.
I would, but
Get
the problem is
twerk. I want to see you twerk.
There's not enough bandwidth on YouTube to see the junk in my trunk.
But your ACL, I assume, is quite crucial in twerking.
I'll shake my ACL. That's fine. There we go. There we go. Look at that go. Look at that go.
Saucy.
It's somewhere around there.
I'm glad there's a table here.
Oh, aren't we just? Got an update on an Impact star who I think there's a strong possibility may head back NXT way.
Yes.
It seems ridiculous.
Why?
Because of the way that we'll tell you who it is. So Fightful Select saying that former Impact World Champion Sammy Callahan, his contract is up in just under a week. So at the end of September, his time with Impact is up. Now Callahan has been with Impact since 2017. There's believed to be interest from both sides of re-signing. However, sources close to the situation say that Callahan is able now to speak with other wrestling companies, something that you can't normally do whilst you're locked into a contract, which suggests to me that if AEW were interested or if WWE were tempted to take a bite once again, I think there's something I think that I liked Solomon Crow.
So did I.
I liked it. It was a bit ahead of its time, the whole internet hacker
He
thing.
had his thighs out with his little singlet on. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, ooh, and indeed ooh. And if you wanted a payoff for this NXT Anonymous thing, you've got a lovely one in it being Solomon Crow.
God, it writes itself, Tom.
It writes itself.
On top of that, you could get Marseille, Mansoir, and Mustafa Ali back in the company and have him be the leader of Retribution.
Oh! I Do you know what? I think they'd love to come back and do Retribution again. I think they bite the hand off to get that again. It's also worth pointing out that Sammy Callahan has a lot of irons in the fire. He's done stuff with MLW, New Japan, Lucha Underground, Pro Wrestling Revolver, which is his promotion. Boom, indeed.
Yeah, it's a revolver for you.
That's a good revolver, that.
Cheers.
How does it vary from a shotgun? There you go, nice. AK-47. A clown running while laughing.
Hey!
I was hoping you were just going to go.
Don't see the obvious things, me, Tom. But yeah, Solomon Crowe could be back in NXT. Who knows what might happen?
Who knows? But certainly there is a great opportunity for Sammy Callahan to really engage in some interesting discussions this week, because I think he's very, very good. It'd be nice to see him do nice things. Hold and Give. We didn't mention that in our first video.
Oh, yeah.
You are buzzing from this weekend.
It's a channel that does football content, live streams, FIFA stuff, or EAFC 23, 24, whatever the hell it's called. We have Friday Fun Club playing football-related games. We have a podcast, fantasy football stuff, everything you could want from a football YouTube channel and more.
If you're a fan of the football, and if you are still over the moon with Newcastle battering Sheffield 8-0 over the weekend, then Ross will be there in his pomp waiting for you on Hold and Give.
Just doing this for several hours down a camera.
That's all it is. It's all it needs to be. And for the latest pro wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.
Oh, that was some force behind that one.
I think I've ripped my wrist.
Twerk, bitch.
I ain't twerking for you. Not until the money's right.